Good afternoon from Okinawa, Japan, home of OkiSubies. Today, this video is going to be featuring the 2004 Forester STI, the SG9, and in front of me is what's going in it. So this is a long rod 2.5 liter engine, boxed up, fresh from Outfront Motorsports, and we're going to be assembling it. The reason why we're assembling this engine and putting it in this car is because we want to rival and compete with the other JDM legends here in Japan. So before, the 2 liter that I had inside the GF8 was holding its own pretty well, but top end, it was getting past, right? So 8th mile done well, quarter mile probably would have lost. We contacted Jeremy out at Outfront Motorsports, asked him how we could get a 2.5 liter to rev out to 9,000 RPMs, and he suggested the long rod 2.5 liter. So we sent him the engine out of this car. He closed decked the block. He poured and polished the heads. We have stage 2 GSC cams in the heads with all titanium as he upsized the valves. The heads are fully built. We also had him bore out so that we can put in larger head studs. For the exhaust system, we're going with the Killer B manifold. And this manifold is designed and sold so we can custom build our own rotated assembly. So we're going to do a rotated turbo on this. This turbo is from Pulsar. It's mirrored after the Garrett G3770. It's supposed to be making some pretty good power. We opted for the T51R mod on it just because why not? We're in there, right? The manifold 2 is from Outfront Motorsports. For you guys in America, I'm sure this is a familiar manifold, but it's the long runner manifold that we're running. It's already been shaved and powder coated from Outfront. We're going with 1300 cc injectors because remember guys, here in Japan we only have premium fuel. We don't have any E85 here, so we're going to be running water meth injection on this car as well. So yeah, I hope to be able to break down everything that we're doing to the car step by step as we go along, but just wanted to let you know what parts are going in from the get-go. We're really looking to rival these other cars, and so hopefully this thing won't let us down, and we can place at the Izina drag strip, the one that's in right off the coast of Okinawa. There's a drag strip that's there. We hope to podium there using this car and this build. So yeah, stay tuned. We originally wanted to do a 2.3 liter build, so take and de-stroke a 2.5 liter so we could pass JCI and everything here. And the main reason was so that we could rev the engine out, because 2.5 liters, they don't rev that high. So we contacted Jeremy, let him know what we were trying to do, and he just recommended the long rod 2.5 liter, and he would just dynamically balance the rotating assembly. So how he does it, you see here on the crank, he just took metal off. So I'm pretty sure he put it in lathe or whatever, the machine that balances it. Shows where everything is off balance, and then he balances it by just taking metal off. So there's one of the rods right there, crank right there. So what Kevin's doing right now is going through and he's aiming for 2000 clearance.
Usually go about like 1.8 using 2 halves, like a half, one standard, and then the other one is a plus 001, I believe it is, but I usually use 2 halves, but right now I'm putting them all to the one size up to make it looser and trying to go for 2000s, and then within those I'm getting every single one of those things exactly. So far we've done the first one and we're right exactly at 2000, so if I can get every single one, you know, as close as I can to 2000s, that's going to be ideal. Alright, so we are back with an update. We have one side of the head on, so one side's complete. Short block is complete. We're putting on the other head, so the long block is going to be pretty much very close to being complete today. But however, it's actually been a good amount of time, in between the last scene and this scene, because the rods we were able to get right where we wanted them to be. For the mains, it was actually a little bit odd. The fifth and fourth bearing was actually a little bit loose, so we actually had to get some different bearings, and King didn't have the ones that we need to, so we had to go through ACL, and we got them in, and we did the short block. After we did that, we went, and as I was rotating the short block, I noticed the piston was really close to the top of the block, so I was like, okay, well, we got to do piston to deck clearance, which I believe it's 0.035 to 0.040 is what you're looking for. We didn't even have that. So at that point, we needed to go to an aftermarket head gasket, which is kind of a first for us. The 2.5 liters are, I don't know, they just seem like they're more towards the top. The deck clearance seems really low for EJ207s because the compression is lower, I believe. It seems like you don't have that issue. But the last 2.5 liter that we did also was very close, but we were able to run the OEM head gaskets. This one though, we are running the Pro Seal, and looking into these ones right here, they seem like a pretty good to go to, unique multi-embossing process for perfect countered shape and all kinds of cool little things here. Even if like excellent sealing characteristics for high boost. So like there, I was looking into it, and they say like even if you do for whatever reason lift a head, you won't they won't always fail. You can still keep a seal. So hopefully we won't have to test that theory out though, because right here we are running Outfront Motorsports 1/2-inch head studs. We had them already machined the block in the heads, of course, and we're putting this together. So this is gonna be fun. We should have the long block pretty much complete today, and then we're gonna get into the good stuff where we'll get in a little bit more detail with you guys on what's gonna make it so unique in Japan. Because setups like this in the stateside and certain places in the world are not too big of a deal, but in Japan you're not going to see too much of what you see here. So we're going to put the long block in there, and then we're going to start mocking up for turbo. We'll have the headers in there, and we'll kind of get an angle of what we're going to do for the turbo, so we'll be able to check that out. So let's get this long block put together and go from there. All right, so we have the manifold on. The engine is about 90% done. We have the timing belt stuff to do, and engine harness, fuel lines, maybe a little bit less than 90%. But we're going to start doing the most difficult part, in my opinion. We have Killer Bee's DIY up pipe setup. It literally just comes like this. Comes with a V-band setup that you can weld here. The rest of it, you're on your own. So we have a couple of things. It's 321, so we had to specifically order these pieces, but we're basically going to cut it. I hope I could deal with just one pie cut and not have to worry about too many different angles and whatnot, but this is the Pulsar G30 770, and we went with the 1.01 AR. So this is the biggest turbo we've ever ran. And we're going to do something along the lines of about right there. So it's just getting the up pipe angle correct and making sure everything is good. We will mess around with the master cylinder here, and hopefully we could fit a GRB one in there to get a little bit of room, but if not, we could still manage. But yeah, should be fun. Of the fabrication, which is the downpipe. Always that last cornerstone, if you will. It's always a unique pie cut to connect the two ends when you're doing it the way that I'm doing it, which is you're taking a aftermarket downpipe and we're cutting the top off of it, and then you are just fabbing the top portion. So we take some tape and then we mark around the area that needs to be created, and take the tape off, put it on a pipe, cut the pie cut, and hope it fits. What you doing, Luke?
Hi.
12.5 bar. It keeps going up. I'll pop out like crazy, bro. It's holding boost pretty good. Passes the boost leak test. Sunday. Data logged in with the little one. How you doing, Lukey?
Good.
What you doing?
I don't know.
How's the data logs look?
Good.
Yeah? Nothing too crazy, obviously.